What's going on, everybody, and welcome to the channel. Today we are checking out the Happymodel Mobula 7. It is a 75mm 1-2S capable tiny hoop with the Crazy Bee F3 Pro flight controller with a built-in OSD. So here is the quadcopter itself. It is looking just fantastic. Love the canopy, that transparent charcoal gray color that you can kind of see through, and the same color for bladed props. Now, I've already had the chance of flying it this morning to test it out, and now I have to say it has become my favorite tiny hoop. So first of all, we have a tilt adjustable FPV camera built right into the canopy. As you can see, there is a screw here, and I almost missed this feature because it blends in so perfectly. So now you can give it the up tilt you always wanted to go fast, or the low tilt for cruising the indoor hallways and going slow as well. The frame on the Mobula 7 is made from this soft plastic that gives a little, and some of you guys were saying something about the US UK 65 had that flag design dipped in a process that hardens up the plastic and makes it brittle. And also, unlike the aluminum frame of the Snapper 7, the frame on this Mobula 7 will give a little in crashes and not break, since it is not brittle or bend like the aluminum frame of the Snapper 7. So the crazy thing about this quadcopter is this is a 1S and a 2S capable tiny hoop, thanks to the flight controller all-in-one that can handle both 1S and 2S. But check out the battery bay. It has this 3D printed square piece that will allow you to put two 1S batteries in the battery bay that was designed for a bigger battery. So you put this 3D printed square right in here, which allows you to put an upper level and a lower level. So you got two levels where you can slide the battery in, and these are the batteries that you are provided with. So you put one battery on the bottom level, or you can call that the upper level, and then you can put another battery right on the other level. So now you are able to run 2S on this quadcopter. So this quadcopter also comes with two battery connectors as well, and the two battery connectors are set up in series to double the voltage, but it will have the same capacity, which is 250 milliamp. So unlike if it was set up in a parallel format, it would just increase the capacity to 500, but you are flying it with 250 milliamp times 2, so the voltage just increases. So that is how it will run on 2S. Now, they also give you this little dongle. Check it out. This is just a little dongle that you can connect to one of the battery connectors. And what it does is it is a pass-through. So you can also accommodate just one 1S battery. So some of the bigger batteries that fits in the original battery bay can also be used. So that is how this quadcopter can fly in the 1S configuration using this little dongle, and the 2S configuration using this 3D printed square piece, so you can accommodate two batteries. So here are some batteries I've been using so far. Okay, so here's some of the batteries that I've been testing out the Mobula 7 with, and here are the batteries that the quadcopter came with. They do provide you with 4 of these batteries. Here are the 2 already put on tandem on the quadcopter. So they are the 250 milliamp Happymodel branded batteries. They are the high voltage. So I've been using that to run this quadcopter in 2S with 2 batteries connected to both of the battery connectors. And here is another one that I was using after I did my initial test flight. It's a 550 milliamp. This one came with one of those King Kong products, and it is also a high voltage battery as well. And I've also used this battery, and this is the battery that I used on that initial first FPV test flight. It is another Happymodel branded battery, 450 milliamp, high voltage as well. This is the battery that came along with the Snapper 7, I believe. Yeah. So to run 2S, you're going to have to put 2 batteries in it just like this and connect each of the battery to each of the battery connector, and you are running 2S. So if you are running just 1S, and if you want to use one of those bigger size batteries, so what you need to do is take this 3D printed square piece out, and you can either use one of these or one of these. I'm going to just put this one, for example, here. You slide it in, and it fits in there pretty snug. It moves a little bit. Actually, the 550 milliamp battery stays in there a little bit more snug. All right. So what you want to do is you want to connect this battery to one of the battery connectors. So it doesn't power it up yet. So what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to bypass this battery connector by sticking in that little dongle, and it powers up. Now you are running 1S. All right. So you can always just unplug this little dongle and you are good to go. And once you are ready to fly, just stick this back in and it is powered on. All right. So that is how you would run a 1S configuration on the Mobula 7, and that's how you would run 2S configuration on the Mobula 7 by connecting both of these to the battery connectors. All right, so let's test out how heavy each one of these setups are. Here's the Happymodel 450 milliamp. So let's test it out. How heavy is this battery? Comes in at 12 grams, and this would be if you were to be running 1S. Now let's test out the 550, and that one is slightly heavier, comes in at 14 grams. And now let's test out the 2S configuration. So we'll put 2 of these batteries plus the 3D printed device, and it is coming in at 13 grams. All right, so we have 12 grams, 13 grams, and 14 grams. Not bad. So 2 of these batteries slightly heavier than this 450, but slightly lighter than this 550 milliamp battery. And also the quadcopter by itself without any batteries is coming in at 27 grams. All right, so the props that we are given are the 40 millimeter 4-bladed push-in type props, and the motors are the Happymodel branded motors, the 0802 16,000 kV motors, and they are the plug-and-play type. So no soldering is required if you want to swap out a bad motor. And another beautiful thing about this TINYHAWK is the flight controller. It is the Racer Star's Crazy Bee F3 Pro flight controller with built-in Betaflight OSD. And it also has a built-in SPI bus receiver with RSSI support, and also a built-in 4-in-1 BLHeli S 5 amp with 6 amp peak D-Shot 600 ESCs with 1 to 2S power support. And it also comes with a buzzer. As you can see, the buzzer right through that little ventilation hole on top of the canopy. So the VTX camera combo all-in-one is the 5.8 gigahertz, 40 channel, 25 milliwatt, 700 TV line, 120 degree field of view, NTSC FPV camera VTX all-in-one, and we are given this dipole coax whip antenna. And it also has a single button to change the channels and the frequency, and you can access that single button right from the top of the canopy in this ventilation opening. And it has TBS SMART audio support as well, so you are able to change all that stuff like channels and frequency right from the OSD menu using your transmitter as well. But what you need to do is set the peripheral sections to TBS SMART audio in the ports page in Betaflight on UR3 to enjoy that feature. And oh yeah, did I mention it has telemetry support as well? So you are able to change the PIDs, channel and frequency of the VTX using the LUA script right from the transmitter without even having to go into the OSD menu. Simply just awesome. So here are some of the stuff that came in the box. So once again, we are given this 6-in-1 battery charger, which is just an awesome battery charger. You can charge 6 batteries at the same time, high voltage and normal voltage, and also 0.2 amps or 0.6 amps as well. And we have a readout, and you are able to also charge up something using this USB out, and you can power this up with a 2 to 6S battery using the XT60 connector or the barrel style connector. And the connector that charges up my Taranis X9D fits in there perfectly, and you are able to use that to charge up some batteries as well. So just an awesome battery charger. Of course, the quadcopter, and here's a bag of goodies, and this will contain some screws, a prop removal tool, and a full set of those 4-bladed 40mm props. And we are given 4 of those batteries and this little 3D printed device, so you can tandem attach 2 of those 250 milliamp size batteries. And the whole thing came in this box. We have seen this type of box before, and it is just awesome. Just that the outside of the box is different. This is the same box that they use for the Snapper 7 as well as the US UK 65 RC quadcopters. And let's not forget about the screwdriver that comes along with it, and the instruction pamphlet as well. This is kind of like the same exact pamphlet that came along with the Snapper 7 as well as the US UK 65 quadcopters, but this one is slightly different. It has a different flight controller, so you got the diagram of the new flight controller, and also how to go about charging it using the 6-in-1 charger, motor directions, and the prop installation, and also how to flash your ESCs utilizing the BLHeli suite. And up on the other side, it goes on to show you how to change the channels and the frequency utilizing the single button there. But we know that this has the TBS SMART audio, so you can go ahead and change all that stuff right in the OSD menu, as well as the LUA script utilizing your transmitter. And here is the OSD menu, and also it goes on to show you how to bind your quadcopter to your transmitter as well. So very nice instruction pamphlet. So the only negative thing that I have to report on this quadcopter is that the USB connector guide, as you can see, there's the USB port. This little guide came off of mine just by pulling the cable after configuring it in Betaflight. So be careful and be gentle when you pull it out. So coming up next are some test flight footage with a 1S battery first, then a 2S battery, and also a free flight footage with a 2S battery as well. So thank you so much for tuning in and watching. Have a great day, and we'll see you again next time. All right, here we go with our first FPV flight, and I got a 450 milliamp high voltage battery on here, single cell. We're going to do a 1S flight first, so let's go ahead and check it out. Oh yeah, it's pretty nice, very smooth so far. I can see there's a slight bit of vibrations though. Running default PIDs.
1 minute.
Okay, let me reset my timer. Okay, let's see if we can do a flip. Oh yeah, can do a flip with the 1S battery. So far so good. There's a slight bit of a little hop and a skip right after the flip, like a little bounce, so probably needs to be tuned a little bit. Okay, let's see how far we can take this thing. So there's the 100-meter bush way yonder over there, and we still got 3.5. RSSI is good. So there's the 100-meter bush. There's a slight bit of a breakup and a little bit of snow. So not meant for distance, but just checking out how far it can go. Video transmission is not bad. For a little all-in-one 25 milliwatt. There we go. Let's see if we can do a loop. Yeah, you can do a loop, but there's a slight misdirection because of the ducted fan. And there you go. That's a smooth one right there. All right. So you can fly this thing with a 1S battery, and there you go. Nice and smooth S-turn. And this is outdoors, and this is made for an indoor flight with a 1S. Now, I don't think you want to fly this thing indoors with a 2S. I think it should be too fast. This is fast enough for me. And so far, I've been flying this type of quadcopter this size with just 1S, and this is my first 2S quadcopter. So this Mobula 7 is nice and versatile. You can fly it with the 1S because they give you that little dongle to cap off that other connector. So you can use all of your 2mm connector batteries, even the 450, and I also have, I believe it's a 500 or 550 milliamp King Kong batteries. Those should work as well. Those are a slight bit bigger, so that means a little bit more weight. So hey, this is not bad. All right, so let me go ahead and bring it in. We've been flying for over 3 minutes with that 450 milliamp battery.
10, 9, 8, 7.
Pretty good flight time.
6, 5,
all right, let's bring it in.
4,
Oh,
3,
there's a little bit
2,
of prop wash on the way down, and there we go. Our first FPV flight with the Mobula 7 with a 1S battery. All right, here we go with our second FPV flight with the Mobula 7, and this time we got those two 250 milliamp batteries, so we are running 2S. All right, so let's go ahead and check it out. Oh yeah, I see a little bit more vibrations right off the bat. So that means you need to tune it down a little bit because there's a lot of oscillations. But check out the power. And the power went down to 6.5 like really quick. Oh, and this thing's got enough power to handle the drop. And look at that, a lot more power than, of course, the 1S, and you are able to do some maneuvers. And this thing feels like a bigger quadcopter. Remember, it's a 75mm brushless. Oh, nice. Oh, this thing is just awesome. Wow. Oh, it's a totally different quadcopter now. Look at how fast it responds and recovers. Wow. Oh, wow. Whoever came up with that little ingenious little 3D printed little square thing so you can hold two 1S batteries in the same bay for a bigger 1S battery, that is just awesome. Oh wow, this thing is not bad. And the battery is just getting sucked dry here. So I don't expect a very good flight time with those two 250 milliamp battery if you are going to be using some juice to fly about. Oh, look at that. Jesus Christ. More than enough power, but there is a little bit of vibrations. So you might want to take care of that. I'm flying this thing right out of the box. Just got it all set up in beta flight with my modes. And I haven't tuned it yet, so this is how it behaves right out of the box. And look at that, we might even squeeze out 3 minutes with the double 250 milliamp battery. Now those 250 milliamp batteries are very light, so by using 2 of them, that is the way to go. Because if you use like different types of batteries and change the connector or something like that, the weight will be too heavy. This is even lighter than using one of those single cell batteries, the 450 milliamp. So I'm gonna go ahead and bring it down for a landing. So there you go, guys, over 3 minutes of flight time with the 2S setup on the Mobula 7. Nice.
Bit by bit, creative imagination began to build a new art form.